Okay, gonna go in a slightly different direction. More or less doing this out of curiosity. I think everyone's heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is a book from the History Channel. That's kind of suspect right there. It's the Dead Sea Scrolls. Ancient scriptures decoded, prophecies exposed, mysteries revealed. I know a little bit about the Dead Sea Scrolls. I know that's and I don't know if this. My focus is typically about salvation. Is something going to enhance my salvation? Is it going to throw me off track? Or that's my main focus. And I've had friends or people that said, "Oh, you're a Christian? Did you read about the Dead Sea Scrolls or blah blah?" And typically that topic, I've seen where it's something that gets people to doubt what they're doing or doubt the Bible that we have. That much I know. Either whatever. But what I'm going to do is I'll just read a little bit of this each video. And I have not read this before, so I'm not recommending this. It's just I'll probably disagree with everything in it. But I think this is just coming from a historical point of view. I doubt there's anything about salvation in here, but we'll see. Like I said, there's little small sections. And I should probably do this at a table. It's a real slick magazine here, book. Let's just jump right into this. Okay. This little chapter here, we'll call it, says, Treasure Found. Bedouin goat herds uncover one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century. Goat herds? I thought it was goat herders. Maybe the goats dug it up. Already this thing's got a strike against it. It says goat herds. And it shows two guys who look to be goat herders. It is 1947 in the mountainous desert east of Jerusalem. And a goat has gone missing. Boy, have I heard that before. The region is a cauldron of hostility as the British prepare to withdraw, leaving the Arabs and Israelis to fight a war that will continue for decades. But for a trio of Bedouin cousins eking out a meager living as nomadic goat herds, their only pressing concern is to find that lost goat. In this stark and unforgiving stretch of earth, the land abruptly plummets 1,200 meters to the lowest point on the planet. Didn't know that. The Dead Sea. Okay. Juma Muhammad, one of the three, scrambles nimbly but carefully along the crumbling limestone cliffs on the precarious northwestern rim near the area known as Qumran. And if I'm mispronouncing this stuff, deal with it. His steps dislodge rocks that tumble into free fall, echoing far below. He curses the wayward goat, I know that too, and is about to give up the search when he comes upon a cave tucked into a rocky crevice. Now, we're off to this treasure now. I wonder if he ever finds the goat or cares. The narrow opening is more a fissure in the stone than an entrance. And let me show you a little, I don't know if it shows you the picture here. We're going to turn the page. That's the big hole in the ground. Here's your goat herding cousins right there. They got the garb. Let's see here. The stone more than the entrance, and sorry about this. Some great images in here. He knows he can't fit through it. Not that there would be any reason to try. Or would there? He heard stories of treasures being found, and wouldn't life be easier if he could sell a pot of jewels and buy himself 1,000 camels and be done with these goats? I felt that too. He throws a handful of stones through the opening, hoping it won't disturb some wrathful beast. What he hears makes his heart beat fast. The sound of breaking crockery. Jars. He knows the sound. It is unmistakable. Treasure. He peers inside, but even after his eyes adjust to the dark, he can see nothing. He yells to his cousins to come and see his discovery. He knows that Muhammad Ahmed, Muhammad Ahmed El Hamid, the youngest, also called Ed Deeb, the wolf, is the only one of the three who could squeeze through the narrow opening. But it is getting dark and the goats must be gathered. So instead of exploring, the three cousins spend the evening imagining their futures as rich men and making plans to come back the next day. The wolf wakes early. That's Ed Deeb. The wolf wakes early, leaving the others sleeping, and scales the cliffs back up to their cave. Leaves the others. He slithers in, lowering himself feet first, and stands blinking the brightness out of his eyes until the dim shapes around him become recognizable. Broken pottery lies in shards all around him, but lining the walls are several narrow jars, some with their lids still in place. Eagerly he plunges his hands into one of them, empty, as is the next and the next. His dreams are evaporating in a musty cloud of ancient nothingness. Finally, his hands close around something wrapped in cloth. He pulls out 3 bundles, moldy and green with age. They seem worthless. Could it be Abraham's pajamas? Who knows? Could they seem worthless? Still, people buy all kinds of things, and he rushes back to wake his cousins, thank God, and share his find. I kind of thought he was going to go it alone there, and little crook. He rushes back to wake his cousins and share his find. His intrepid excavation is greeted with slaps and threats. His intrepid excavation is greeted with slaps and threats. Where has he hidden the real treasure? Oh, the other 2 are the turkeys. Okay. So he's greeted with slaps and threats. Where has he hidden the real treasure? What is he trying to pull on them? These are nothing but old rolls of papyrus and leather. Paper, leather bound. The 3 go back to the cave, and once more the wolf squeezes through the crevice. Look for other jars, he is told. Search the floor for gems and gold that may have fallen out of the broken ones. But he finds nothing else. Juma crams the 3 worthless old rolls into his pack, and when the cousins return to Bethlehem, they hang the bag on a tent pole, where its contents are removed and passed around for inspection by various members of their tribe. The Bedouin goat herds were clueless that the humble rolls were of far greater value than any crock of jewels. They were, in fact, ancient documents that would soon jolt the world into a new understanding. Really. Jolt the world into a new understanding of Judean. I say it because new understanding, that is a Christian phrase. Christians use that phrase all the time. New understanding. New revelation. A new understanding of Judean life in the era of Jesus Christ. Provide cryptic prophecies, inspire a frenzy of fortune hunting, and provoke an academic rivalry that persists to this day. They were what has been called one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century. The great Isaiah scroll, the Habakkuk commentary, and the Manual of Discipline, 1,000 years older than any existing biblical text. They were what we have come to know as the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's the little chapter. It's got a little something here. It shows a picture of the Bedouin tribes out in the desert there. It's got a little paragraph here I'll read. The Bedouins. I don't know about you, but I've seen, you know who the Bedouin are. Like you see the Hidalgo, the movie or whatever. He's dealing with his people. And I've seen many times seen in movies or whatever the case, whether that's true or not, but I could easily do the Bedouin thing. Give me a tent. Give me, out in the middle of nowhere. Fantasy. The Bedouins, whose name is Arabic for desert dwellers, were among the first converts to Islam and are known for their rich oral poetic tradition. Where's my family over here? Herding life, the rich oral poetic tradition, herding lifestyle, an ancient code of honor. Descended from nomads, they raise camels, herd sheep and goats, and live tribally within extensive networks. The Bedouins are outside the governing authority of the state. I could romanticize that. And rule themselves by the unwritten law of al-Urf, in which specific punishments are meted out for various transgressions. These punishments sounds like the Old West. These punishments can be harsh. If murder occurs within a clan, no one will defend the murderer, no matter what the circumstances. If the murderer escapes, he is considered an outlaw and relinquishes all expectation of tribal protection or affiliation. That sounds like another covenant I'm familiar with. There is no worse fate than to lose the protection of one's tribe, to be a lone wanderer in the desert. You could have Jesus, or you could be a lone wanderer in the desert. Where are we here? Any misbehavior against a woman results in 4 times double the punishment incurred for the same act perpetrated against a man. If a dispute cannot be resolved, if a dispute cannot be resolved between the parties, the sheik steps in, and in the case of 2 men at odds, claiming each is the truthful one, Bisha'ah is performed. This is an ordeal by fire in which each man must burn his tongue with a hot spoon until the liar is revealed. Ooh. Quick justice. The Bedouins' key values are harmony, kinship, solidarity, honor, and hierarchy. A prevailing ethic is hospitality. Every visitor is welcomed with an elaborate ritual in which coffee ground with cardamom is served. Anyhow, that's the Bedouins. That's a nice little picture. I love that kind of painting. Yep. Love you. God bless.